Okay, now the next thing is to make this code reusable, meaning that I want to be able to use it from the index page. So if I'll do file, open file here, let's open up the index page just to have it up and ready. And what I want to do here on midterm status, the first thing I have to do is I have to expose this to the outside world. Okay, so let's comment these out because this was just for us to test, but we want this to be interactive with the outside world. Okay, so the first thing is we have to expose this so index.js can see it. So the first step here, we're going to use var. We'll create a variable called exports. Again, this variable name doesn't matter. This part does matter. You're going to do module period exports and curly bracket. Now you're then going to take this variable. This is what's going to be responsible for exporting to the outside world once you assign it. And you're going to say here, I'll call this midterm status. This is equal to the method that you want to expose. The method that I want to expose is get midterm status. Get rid of the semicolon, I really don't need it here. This will expose midterm status. Get midterm status. Internally, it is get midterm status. To the outside world, it will be midterm status when we bring it in. So let's go now to index.js. Now what we're going to do here, we're going to say here const, and we're going to say here, let's call it, I'll call it grade, is equal to require. This is how we bring in other modules. We're going to say here, I'm going to say period here, business. Remember, that's the name of the folder. And of course, the name of the file is called midterm. This is the name of the file here. Now, we have access to it using this grade variable right here. Now, remember what's exposed to the outside world is midterm status, not the function get midterm status, the actual word midterm status, which will then hook us up to get midterm status. I noticed I didn't save it here, so let's save it so I don't run into any problems. Make sure these are commented out, or you can actually delete them. It's up to you, okay? These will just out test to make sure it works before we bring it somewhere else. Okay, now let's go back here. Now what we're going to do is, all this logic now is not needed. Notice how much this is going to get cleaner now. This is clean, this is gone. In fact, I don't need any of this stuff right here because now I can say grade, which is this variable right here, period, midterm status, which again is this variable that you're exposing to the outside world. Okay, open paren, close paren, and we're going to put in input score. So now this will call that other module. And remember, the key now is look at this app get right here. This is very clean to look at. This will then call this logic, which is extremely not crowded, but it is somewhat crowded. But the whole idea is we don't have this logic sitting in this area, which would make this a little bit unmanageable. Okay, let me kill all the terminals. I have about 3 terminals up in here. I'm going to kill all of them to make sure Node is not up and running anywhere. And actually Node was running in one of them. Let me get rid of the debug terminal also. And let's go back to terminal. So now I'm in the terminal. And now I should be able to run it. Let's do node index. Server's up and running. Let's test to see if our new logic is there. Let's do 100. Still works the same way. Beautiful. Let's do 75. Still works the same way. Now let's do the error with 101. Extremely cool. And let's do the -3. Still works. So the whole idea of this was to expose this logic to another JavaScript file. And we were able to keep this area extremely, extremely clean, okay? Which means that it's easier to manage, easier to look at. All right, with that, good luck and good coding. And the next goal is to connect to their database. I'm so excited. Hope you are too. With that, good luck and good coding.